So the goal for our organization is just to merge our financial expectations with operational planning and dispatching systems. So what we try to do is in our planning processes, not only to estimate cost optimizations or sales optimizations, but directly to give recommendations and decision possibilities for our management. So we try to develop an engine where we have a merge between the financial side and the operational side. Of course, we are not yet there, but I show you on the next slides how we use the different analytics methods. So Gartner, it has 4 stages of analytics methods. So first descriptive and diagnostic, then predictive, and then prescriptive. Next slide, Larissa. As Matthias, okay, this is I just start with this slide. Our logistics network in Switzerland, it's a perfect lab to introduce or to implement all kinds of different analytics methods. So as you see, we have about 300 pickup and delivery stations. We have more than 300 trains, around 5,000 wagons per day. So the system is therefore really complex. You cannot plan it by hand or by Excel. So in one form, you always have to use computer power to plan and to optimize such networks. So the next slide. As Matthias already explained, are all the advantages you have by driver-based planning. We also use driver-based planning. But one big problem we face with this process is that we are not detailed enough really to optimize our resource planning. We have a mismatch of more than 5% between our forecast expectations and our actual needs. So we have a lot of waste in our process. And this is just the time when we try to overcome this problem by machine learning methods. So if you go on the next slide. So what we have to do in our forecast processes, we must be much more detailed. So we need forecasts for specific geographic relations, for specific day, for specific time. And on the left side, you see just monthly shipments of one of our customers. And the red line, for example, is a fitted model, a fitted machine learning model that estimates these shipments. Not that bad. And if you think of having for each relation a forecast, you can imagine that it's not possible by hand or by Excel. So you need machine learning tools, you need computer power just to do it and to optimize here these processes. So we need predictive analytics or machine learning algorithmics just to optimize our existing processes. So to reduce the waste in our processes. This is one side of analytics. And if you look at optimizing existing processes, the next step is just to optimize or to change the business rules of existing processes, just to change it really. And for that, we go another way. If you go on the next slide. So first, what you have to do is you really have to understand the business rules of the operation processes. So you have to understand what your people are really doing. Next, you have to understand what managers can decide in these processes. So the decision options, the decision possibilities the managers have, it's really important to understand these parameters. If you understand these first 2 things, you can then start building something like a digital twin of your operation business. And if you have this digital twin, you can run simulations. So you can run your business, you can change the decision options just to see how profitability changes. For example, if we go on the logistics network that I showed you before, we have as decision parameters the pickup and delivery times, the duration of transports, the locations of shunting activities. We can select different trains, or we can change the routage of the shipments of the clients. The results are really astonishing. So in theoretical models, we have optimizations of more than 25%. Of course, you cannot change this from one day to the other, but you know exactly what or where you have to change your business models. If you go on the next slide, I will show you, I give you a glance of how such a model works really. The blue points, these are the pickup and delivery stations, and the red points that are moving, these are the shipments of our customers. So they just give us orders from for a shipment to go from one point to another point at a certain time. And what we then have to do is just to put these shipments on specific trains, and that you see on the next slide. On this slide, you see the orange points. These are the trains that are running on our network, and the yellow points that are blinking here in the chart. These are the shunting activities, and this is one such model that simulates exactly our logistics network, and where we can now change these decision parameters just to find out how we can optimize the whole business. And this is really the main part of applying artificial intelligence or simulation instruments, just to have the exact decision ideas, what you have to change to optimize your business. And so we go in the direction of merging the planning situation between operations and finance.